Totally Killer is a new time-traveling horror film on Prime Video. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Prime Video. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up-and-coming content. 35 years after the shocking murders of 3 teens, an infamous killer returns on Halloween night to claim a 4th victim. When 17-year-old Jamie comes face to face with the masked maniac, she accidentally time travels back to 1987. Forced to navigate the unfamiliar culture, Jamie teams up with her teenage mother to take down the psycho once and for all. So this stars Kiernan Shipka as 17-year-old Jamie, who goes back in time to work with her mother as a teenager, played by Olivia Holt, and her mother is played by Julie Bowen, and current timeline. And this is like a horror Back to the Future film that was a lot of fun. I had a blast with Totally Killer. It is totally fun. What makes this film work so well is that it's not so reliant on the 80s tropes and pop culture to move the story forward. Yes, there's a lot of references even to Back to the Future and Molly Ringwald. There's enough references to make it feel like they're having fun with the 80s, but not relying on all the references and style of the 80s to tell the story. It is focused on this mystery of who is this killer and then trying to prevent the murders of these 3 teenage girls. I like that we were introducing our characters in the 80s, what they liked, but it wasn't the main focus of the movie. We were able to really dive deep into that mystery, and having Kiernan Shipka in the 80s trying to prevent everything for what she already knows in our current time, and how this killer is infamous and people dress up as this killer. So she goes into the 80s with this knowledge of what had already happened, but since time traveling things start to become very different, the order of the characters being murdered is different. So it's really starting to test this character and how she's able to protect herself and her friends as well. You can tell that the film does borrow some elements from other movies. It feels like Halloween at times with a slasher style to it. You can tell a lot of similarities between this movie and other films, and it just becomes a lot of fun when you look at this movie and how it's piggybacking off of that slasher subgenre, which is my favorite subgenre of horror film. So this movie just was an overall entertaining film. Kiernan Shipka is a lot of fun. I loved her as Sabrina. Olivia Holt is great as a younger mom. She's very different from their current self in the way that Kiernan Shipka interacts with Olivia Holt in the film. There's some tension right away, and that's not what Jamie expected right off the bat. She probably thought that there was going to be some immediate connection, but it's just not that. Seeing the younger version of the characters and how some characters are matching their current self from the 80s was a lot of fun, and then seeing the characters that were a bit different was also interesting to watch. But Kiernan Shipka does a great job of taking control of certain situations as she's trying to prevent these murders. But here as a character, she has this struggling relationship with her mother, and so this is a way for her to kind of fix things in the past so it's more positive in the future. It's bloody at times, and the killer is known as the Sweet 16 Killer. Kills their victims and stabs them 16 times. So there are some bloody moments along the way, typical slasher style to it. I enjoyed the 80s style to it, not over reliance on it, but having a lot of fun with it and having a new style to the characters compared to what we got from them in the beginning of the film. The performances are really good. Kiernan Shipka is great in the 80s and our current timeline as well. The film had a good vibe to it, and I really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting much from it, but it reminded me of film of like Final Girls, just a fun, simple horror film that you can watch during Halloween time. So before I give you my score for Totally Killer on Prime Video, make sure to check out my channel here. I do movie reviews, trailer actions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button and get it all in one spot. And if you'd like to see where Totally Killer ranks amongst all of the other 2023 releases I've seen this year, follow me on Letterboxd and there you can find my ranking. I'm going to go ahead and give Totally Killer a B-. Thank you guys for checking out my review for Totally Killer, the new Prime Video horror film. Have you guys seen it by chance? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.